My name is Esther the Doula. I am a certified doula, a maternal health advocate, and I'm so excited to be here to just have fun with you. Welcome to the Cussons Baby Bump to Baby show. In this show, we're going to be discussing all about babies, right from when they are conceived to when you're pregnant until your baby comes. So from your bump to baby. Welcome. In this episode, we're going to be discussing nurturing from within. We want to talk about nutrition, prenatal nutrition. What does good nutrition actually mean? It means several things. Number one, eating the right foods. Number two, in the right quantity. Number three, eating the variety of foods available to you. So what this simply means is that before you even get pregnant, it's important for you to start prepping your body. Most of us don't do that. We just wake up one day and we're like, oh, I'm pregnant. But the first 12 weeks of a baby's life is key in terms of how that baby grows, and their growth is determined by what is in your body. Your body will be utilizing the nutrients that have been stored over time to be able to start growing this baby. So before you get pregnant, at least 3 months before, start planning. Start having what we call a balanced diet. Start thinking about, what am I eating? What am I avoiding? How am I preparing my body? When you do get pregnant, you're thinking like, I'm growing this baby, so I need to feed this baby the right way. And so we're going to be discussing and delving deeper into this so that we understand, what does it mean when we say a balanced diet? We have the food groups, and the first one that we want to talk about is carbohydrates, or the starches. Some of us are really afraid of carbohydrates, but this is an important food groups because these are the foods that give us energy. So when you're pregnant or when you're planning to be pregnant, it's important to ensure that you eat enough carbohydrates to give you enough energy. These are energy-giving foods. They also tend to carry quite a lot of the micronutrients that are necessary for your baby's growth. Every day, you should endeavor to eat about 6 to 11 portions of starches, and that sounds like a lot. But what it means is that you're not eating a lot of food, but you're eating small portions spread out through the day. In the early weeks of pregnancy, you will find that sometimes you feel nauseated, you feel like you want to throw up, you might feel tired, and so you don't want to eat too much of the food all at the same time. So what this means, when you break it down, like when you wake up in the morning, you can have a bit of sweet potato, just a small piece. That's one portion. You can wait a bit and have 2 slices of bread. You can wait a bit, 2 hours later, eat some, arrowroot. 2 hours later, eat some bread. So all these little pieces of carbohydrates spread out through the day give you the energy that you need, and it ensures that you're not having a drop in your sugar levels. Your sugar levels remain constant through the day. Another very important food group is the vegetable and fruit group. I don't want to say the vitamins group because vitamins are found in all the food groups. So when we talk about the vegetable and fruit groups, we're talking about, the green leafy vegetables. We're talking about things like carrots, things like courgettes. We're talking about fruits like, avocado, banana. All those are very important aspects and are food groups that should be considered every day. We should eat at least 5 portions of that food group every day. That means, like, when you wake up in the morning, maybe take a fruit. When you are having a snack, you could have a carrot, You could later have, when you're having your lunch, you're having your green leafy vegetables. Later, you're having all these other types of vegetables or types of fruits to ensure that you get key minerals and key nutrients from that. What do vegetables and fruits give us? One of the things that they give us is fiber, and fiber is important in the digestive process. When you're pregnant, you do tend to have a slowed digestive system. So you'll find like you might be prone to constipation, and these food group is really key to giving you enough fiber to help you not, have an easier time in the loo. Another important nutrient that you find from fruits and vegetables is vitamin C. And vitamin C is important for your immunity, helps you not to have a lot of colds and flus. When you're growing that baby, your body is working so hard. Another important nutrient found in this food group is folate. And folate is a key mineral for the growth of your baby. It helps your baby's brain development, their spine, their muscles. So it's so important to ensure that the vegetables that you're eating every day are fresh and they do give you folate. They also give you iron, things like spinach. Those green leafy vegetables, they give you iron, and iron helps you have enough blood. Did you know that when you're pregnant, your blood volume is ×2 to be able to nurture your baby? So your body is making so much blood, you do need the iron. Did you know that vitamin C is lost by storage, by preparation? So when you're preparing those vegetables, try and eat as much of them raw as much as possible. Try not to overcook your vegetables, because if you overcook them, well, you've lost some of the nutrients. Lightly dress your vegetables with some oil, a healthy oil, like for example, mixing your food with avocado, and that will help the absorption of the food because that's a healthy oil. Another food group that is key to the development of your baby is the milk and dairy group. Now, this group is so important because it is the richest source of calcium, which is one of the major building blocks of nutrition. One of the major nutrients that is key to the development of your baby's bones, their muscles, even their teeth later. So this is calcium. So dairy is the richest source of calcium. And so when you're not having to do dairy, then you're going to have a problem even with yourself. Remember, your body prioritizes the baby. So you'll find like if you don't take dairy, you start having muscle issues, you start having bone pain because you're not having enough dairy. This portion of food, you should have at least 3 portions, meaning if you take a glass of milk in the morning, you can take a glass of yogurt in the afternoon, you can take some cheese. All these are dairy products that are key to the development of your baby. They give you vitamin A, they give you some vitamins like vitamin B, some vitamin D, some of the other micronutrients that are so important. Here is a tip for those who do not take dairy products or milk. You can still get sufficient calcium in your diet by just modifying your diet. So you can take iron fortified juices like orange juice. You can take other alternatives to dairy like almond milk because they are fortified with calcium. You can also include foods like sardines, or if you are Kenyan, we call it omena. You can have beans, lentils. Other foods include sesame seeds, poppy seeds. All those are rich sources of calcium. Another important food group is proteins, and proteins is key to the development of your baby's muscles, the organs. It's the building blocks of the baby's body. You have to eat enough protein, and proteins are divided into 2. We've got the animal proteins. Animal proteins are your fish, your beef, your chicken, your egg. Then we've got the plant sources of proteins like your beans, your lentils, your peas. Now, proteins from animals do give you what we call complete amino acids. So that means that animal sources will give you like a different kind of proteins than the plant sources. They are incomplete amino acids. But when you combine the 2, then you get a wide variety of proteins that will be able to meet your baby's needs. When you do your proteins, ensure that if it's animal, you cook it well. If it's like beef or pork, you are cooking well so that you avoid getting parasites. For your beans and your lentils, you are maybe soaking them before you eat so that you don't get as gassy. Remember, when you're pregnant, you get a bit gassy. So you can do that just to ensure that you are comfortable as you take your proteins. There is a special group of nutrients that we call the healthy fats and oils. And these are actually so important because they are concentrated forms of of energy, number one. Number two, they are the ones that help us be able to absorb what we call fat-soluble vitamins. Now, when you eat your food, like for example, you eat your vegetables, like your green leafy vegetables, they've got fat-soluble vitamins, and that means like something like vitamin E or vitamin K, and they'll have that within, or vitamin A, and they'll have that within them. But if I eat a green leafy vegetables and I don't add oil, then it means that I'm not able to absorb that vitamin A. So you must eat your green leafy vegetables with an oil. So oils are really, really key in helping you absorb these nutrients and get utilized in our bodies. They help you be able to utilize vitamin D. Vitamin D is important for your baby's growth, their bones, so that their bones are strong. Vitamin K helps with the clotting of blood and making sure that the bones are healthy. We've got vitamin E that helps the cell membranes to work properly. That's why it's so important to ensure that you're adding healthy fats. There are important supplements that you should take when you're pregnant, and the first one is folic acid, especially in the first 12 weeks of pregnancy. But ideally, if you're planning to be pregnant, you should start taking it 3 months before. Why folic acid? Folic acid is important for the development of your baby's brain and your baby's spine, and it prevents the development of neurological issues like spina bifida, and ensures that your baby's spine is stable. So start taking it, be faithful to it, it's gonna be useful. Iron is also very important in those first few weeks, and most supplements in the early days are a combination of the folic acid and the iron. Iron helps you to have enough blood for your baby. Remember, your blood volume doubles, and so you do need to take enough iron supplements or iron in your diet, but sometimes the diet is not giving you enough, so supplementing it is important. For other multivitamin supplements, please be careful. You can overdose yourself. Like for example, a big dose of vitamin A can actually cause fetal abnormalities. It can cause abnormalities in your baby. So ensure that any multivitamin that you're taking, you have been prescribed by your doctor or consult with your healthcare provider so that you do not overdose yourself, because then that can create an issue. Your blood volume doubles. So that means you need a lot of fluids. So when you start your day, ensure that you're thinking, how will I make sure that I have enough water? It could be unsweetened tea, because of course if you're taking 10 cups of tea and you're adding the sugar, we're gonna have a bit more, too much of the sugar. You can take milk, you can take juices, you can take smoothies, but that ensures that you have enough fluid so that you don't get dehydrated, ensuring that your baby gets enough amniotic fluid. Remember, the amniotic fluid is from the water you take. Taking lots of water ensures that you don't get constipated. Avoid tea, too much tea or coffee, because that can also create a problem where you don't absorb enough iron in your diet. Remember, with a few adjustments, good planning, work with what you have. You can be able to eat the foods that are readily available to you, foods that you can afford, but still be able to optimally grow your baby in your belly. Ensure that if you do need any help, reach out. There's help in your local clinics. When you go to the hospital, ask questions to ensure that you have a balanced diet. In summary, eat a balanced diet. Good nutrition is the building blocks of your baby's growth. Ensure that you take the supplements that the doctor has given you and avoid taking others that you might not know where they're from. And finally, avoid substances that might be harmful for the development of your baby. There are some substances that ideally you should avoid when you're pregnant, like the nicotine or smoke from smoking, because this can affect your baby's development. It can lead to miscarriages, stillbirth, your baby's neurological development. And ideally, when you're pregnant, if you have an issue with smoking, you can seek help to be able to stop so that your baby can grow healthy during pregnancy. Medications when you're pregnant. We do have a habit of self-medicating or going to a pharmacy and getting medicines, but medicines can be very, very fatal to your baby. Some medicines are not meant to be taken when you're pregnant. So for any medication that you're taking, ensure that you have a prescription or you've talked to your doctor or your healthcare provider. That also goes to herbs, some of the herbal medication or what you call natural medicine. They can also cause a lot of damage to the baby, or you can cause miscarriages or stillbirths. So stick to the medications that your doctor has given you. Don't go beyond that. What about caffeine? Well, you can take a cup or two per day. Even tea. Tea does have caffeine. You don't want to take too much because that can cause hyperstimulation in your uterus, in your body. But you can take, one or two. You can take decaf because that will give you that pickup without too much of the caffeine. Well, enjoy your coffee, just 1 or 2 cups a day. In pregnancy, it's important to avoid alcohol. Now, alcohol does cross the placenta barrier from your body to the baby. So it's important to avoid it, especially in the first trimester, because that's when the embryo is being formed and your baby is more susceptible to the effect of toxins in the alcohol in that time. Frankly speaking, there is no amount of alcohol that has been found to be safe during pregnancy and even breastfeeding. Hey! Time to bust a myth. Is it true that you need to eat for 2 when you're pregnant or breastfeeding? Well, not really. From the 3rd month of pregnancy and onward, you only need to add maybe 200 to 300 calories per day. This can be achieved, for example, by eating 2 to 3 extra slices of bread or drinking an extra glass of milk per day. Myth busted, yes? Remember, with good planning and a few adjustments, you can get all the nutritional requirements in your diet. You don't have to go looking for special foods. Work with what you have and it's enough. Join me next time as we talk about feeding the future infant nutrition. For more information on your bump to baby journey, follow us on our socials.